Upton Sinclair, Truth Writer. When Upton Sinclair wrote a novel about the horrors of slavery, few people bought his work. Then, a publisher asked if Sinclair would write a book about factory workers who were treated like slaves. Sinclair jumped at the chance. Workers at a Chicago meatpacking plant had just been brutally defeated in a labor dispute, and Sinclair decided to write about them. Meatpacking horrors. In 1900, Chicago was the home of the nation's biggest meatpacking companies. Disguised as a worker, Sinclair spent 7 weeks in the slaughterhouses of 1904. There, he observed how cattle and hogs became steaks and sausages. He saw employees with missing thumbs and others whose fingers had been eaten away by acid. He heard stories of deadly falls into cooking vats. Based on his research, Sinclair wrote a tragic story of poor immigrants trapped in poverty by greedy business owners. In his 1906 novel, The Jungle, he described the horrors of meatpacking plants in great detail. He told of sick animals being processed into food. He described sausage made from old, rotten meat, mixed with everything from sawdust to rodents. Quote, "Rats were nuisances," he wrote, "and the packers would put poisoned bread out for them. They would die, and then the rats, bread, and meat would go into the hoppers together." It means they'd all be ground up and sent out as food. The book The Jungle became the nation's biggest bestseller since the Civil War era's Uncle Tom's Cabin. But readers were more upset about the contents of their sausage than the treatment of the wage slaves. Quote, "I aimed at the public's heart, and by accident I hit it in the stomach," said Sinclair. Safer food and drugs. After reading The Jungle, President Roosevelt ordered an investigation of the meatpacking industry. When his investigators confirmed that conditions were as bad as Sinclair had claimed, Congress passed the Meat Inspection Act 1906. This established health standards for the meatpacking industry and federal inspection of meat. Other muckrakers revealed similar problems in the food canning and drug industries. Also in 1906, Congress passed the Pure Food and Drug Act. This law requires manufacturers to use safe ingredients in their products and to advertise them truthfully. Future decades would bring more laws protecting American consumers. Source, TCI History Live. Oh, there's also an image here of some men working in a meatpacking plant. You can see a hog on the rack here. It says, Upton Sinclair shocked readers with his description of conditions inside meatpacking plants like this one. The unsanitary conditions prompted the government to begin meat inspections.